Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. And if you are new, welcome. Settle in, be comfortable, and I hope you are ready to listen to what I got to say. So, by the title of the video today, I'm going to be speaking about um how motherhood is transforming me. There's a whole lot of things that I feel like I had to learn and unlearn in my motherhood journey, and I'm still learning. My kids are still small, so it's going to be an ongoing journey. It's going to be something that I feel like it's a probably lifetime. So it's important that we work on it, enjoy the journey. Sometimes I feel like we just want to enjoy the fruits or the goal when we reach the goal, but the process is also important. And this title was basically inspired, or this video was inspired by a scripture in the Bible, in the book of Romans, that speaks about renewal of the mind. Our mind have to be transformed, it has to be renewed, and so on. So I felt like, okay, I had to, like, when my children were born, I also feel like I was born. I feel like it was a season where I also became a mom. And so it's important that I embrace that. Um, like I said before, I've said to someone that, we sometimes dread the process, but we want to see only the fruits or the end product. But the process is what makes us to be what we are. So the first thing that I feel like I had to do was um, understanding that I need to work on myself. So by working myself, meaning I needed to love myself. I needed to care for myself. I need to make sure that I'm okay. I'm fit enough to be the mom that my children needs. And being fit looks different for everyone in that situation. So I'm not talking about being perfect. I'm not talking about being a perfect mom, but I'm talking about being a mom that your children needs at the moment, at that time. So it differs from season to season, because I've seen that when your children are small babies, there's a season where basically you care for them 24/7, if I can say that way. And there's a season where you let them grow and be a bit independent in their season. I mean, I only have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. I'm not yet a teen mom. I'm not yet an adult mom. So it's a journey. It's gonna be ongoing. It's gonna evolve and so on. A lot of things are gonna change along the line. The things that are learning now, I'm gonna have to unlearn when they are bigger and things like that. So that's the beauty of a journey. Some of the things you pick along the line, some of the things you throw along the line. So yeah, that's basically how it goes. And so the first thing like I said, I needed to realize was I needed to be okay. For example, sometimes we have past hurts that affect our present, and I needed to make sure that sort of I do a search in my heart to be like, check, am I okay? Are certain things still hurting me? Are certain things still bothers me, and things like that? So I needed to do that introspection where I work on myself, and I still do. There's certain things that just takes longer than others. So I'm working on that I'm a project on my own, because I feel like that's part of loving myself, that's part of self-care, to really be okay, and so that I can give myself the goodness that I'm putting in. And by that I mean, whatever I put in, it needs to be coming out. Like, when you take a glass of water and you fill it with water and you just keep filling it, and it gets full and it runs over. That's whatever is flowing, whatever comes out of that, should be for what the people around me, my children included, gets. And I need to make sure that whatever I'm putting in is goodness, it's good, it's well, so that they can receive that out of me. So that's one of the things I had to learn, realizing that I'm a work in progress. I need to work on myself. The other thing is that I needed to be me. And what I mean is that to understand, I needed to know who I am, and like I needed to know what makes me happy so that I can be that, right? Because a lot of times I feel like we just become what society tells us to be. We just live our lives according to how social media or society portrays we should live our lives, but and certain things is not that we are happy about, right? So I needed to find like what makes Reba happy, what makes me happy, so that when I'm loving on my children, I'm happy. I'm in a good space. Of course, I won't always be happy. There's certain things that's gonna bother me. There's certain things that's gonna be a distraction. There's certain things that's gonna frustrate me. But I needed to be okay. And loving, being okay doesn't mean I'm exempted from having challenges, or I don't have obstacles or flaws or anything like that. Um, it just basically means that I'm content with, you know, everything that's happening. I know who I am. I know what I stand for. So I needed to be that, because this sometimes we give advices to people, like now I'm saying I'm sharing what I do. Someone might take it and use it. Some others might feel like that doesn't apply to me, and it's fine. But the important thing is understanding that what you do is what you're happy with. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. So I needed to learn to be me, to be happy with what the person that I am when becoming, so that I teach my children how to be happy with who they are. And understanding also that I'm not perfect. I'm along the way, along the journey, I'm gonna be a mistake. I'm gonna do things wrongly, and I needed to be okay with that and be able to forgive myself, along the journey, that there's certain things that I want to do this way, and if they don't happen, then I don't feel okay. I beat myself up. I need to be okay with being flawed, knowing that I'm not perfect, my life is not perfect, my children are not perfect, my husband is not perfect, and that's just how it is. But we are happy in the process, right? And allowing my kids to be themselves also, because I feel like we always talk about kids should be seen and heard and understood, right? But sometimes we just see them, but when they try to raise their opinions or speak up, we shut them down. And I'm learning, that's one of the transformation to for my kids to feel like they're important, for my kids to feel like their views are important, what they say, what they feel is important, and learning to respect their boundaries. There's sometimes we do things as adults that I don't think sometimes we mean to, but it's just in our in human nature. For example, we would say to a child that, you know teach them about, for example, abuse, when people shouldn't do this to you, shouldn't do this, and but when it comes to boundaries, we don't respect their boundaries. For we will say, um, an adult comes to say, come give me a huggy, come give me a kissy, but your child doesn't feel comfortable giving that person a hug. And I feel like we need to respect them, not to force those things. Go say hi to the auntie, we need to respect that my child doesn't want to. So we need to be clear about our intentions, be intentional in what we do. Don't teach kids, don't let people touch you there. For example, teaching them about sexual abuse. Don't let people touch you there, or to speak to you like this, or things like that. But then we still say, force them to go greet people. So what I'm trying to say is that our kids need to their boundaries need to be respected. We need to teach them that, everybody that comes into your life need to respect your boundaries. And the same way for you, you need to respect other people's boundaries. So I feel like that's part of us seeing and hearing them and understanding them, because then we learn to respect our children. And Other thing is forgiveness. My kids, I'm teaching them, and something that I'm also learning, that when you're wrong, you just need to say sorry. There's no other way around it, and you don't have to explain yourself why you did what you did. It's, if somebody feels hurt by what you did, you just say sorry and move on. Because I feel like we sometimes try to justify our actions so much that even the saying sorry has no meaning, doesn't carry any value at all, because I'm sorry, but I did that because the. So it's important that our kids need to know that you are sorry, that's the end of it. To respect other people's feelings and their feelings to be respected. That I can be okay with them telling me that, mommy, you did this to me and it hurt me, and not try to justify why I did that. So guys, it's it's a big transformation. It's not something that I'm just like, I got this. I know sometimes it takes your pride just being shattered, because you understand the bigger picture. That I'm not just, it's not that I'm making my children, or they're disrespecting me. They're just telling me how they feel. I make them feel, and I need to respect their feelings, because they are also individuals. So it's a lot. Motherhood is a lot. It's a journey. It's a beautiful one, but it's also a discovery moment. You get to discover yourself. And one of the big things I feel like, it's not learning, learning not to live our childhood through our children. Because I feel like sometimes we want to do things for our children, or to our children, that was not done to us. But not understanding that we're all different. For example, there's a book called Five Love Languages. There's one for children also. And I feel like it's important we know our children's love languages, what makes them, what fills their tank, their love tank, what fills them up, what doesn't, and so on. But sometimes we do what we want, to love on them the way we needed to be loved, or the way we want to be loved. And it end up being for them, it end up being not being their love tank being filled up, because I'm loving them the way I want to be loved, or the way I want to love them, but it doesn't fill them up. And then tomorrow we like, these kids are ungrateful, I'm doing so much for them, but they didn't ask that so much to be done for them. They just wanted to be loved the way they need to be loved. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, it's important that we not live our lives through them. We allow them to live their own lives as young as they are. It's important that we enjoy them being themselves. Yes. One of the things also is that my aim is to raise not only well-behaved kids, not only intelligent kids, not only wise children, but I want to raise confident children, to be able, like I said, to speak up, to be able to stand and say, this is how I feel about the situation, this is what I'm saying. Because some of us, or some of our youth, they there was a level of depression, because they were not allowed to speak up, withholding things, and the bitterness, just, or not bitterness necessarily, but things just being built up inside of you, and you're not able to express that. So I don't want my children to feel like they have to bottle things up. They can't tell me if I'm wrong, they can't say how they feel, and so on. I want them to be, and it's a big transformation, because in a society that we grew up, it's a thing of um, I'm an adult, that's the end of it, right? So I'm teaching them that it's okay if you want to say something, it's okay if you want to share your views, it's okay, you are valued, you are important in this family, in this setup, and so on. And the other thing is that leading by example. So I feel like sometimes we teach our children that this is what you need to do, but this is how you need to love, this is how you need to speak, but we do it so differently. Meaning I teach them how to it's like saying do what I say, not what I do. So the main thing, the thing is that kids are going to do what you do. They're gonna follow. I see that in my children daily. Certain things that I do, they do it same way. And sometimes I cringe at that, like, I don't want you to do that. And they're like, but mommy, you do it. And that for me is like a thing that made me realize that, the way I do things, if I don't want it done that way, I shouldn't also do it. So I should lead by example. I should be the example in that. And admitting also when I don't know everything. One of the things that I had to learn was admitting if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if I don't know an answer to the questions, I should just say I don't know and find out or figure out and things like that, because it's very, I feel like we need to build relationships that are healthy with our children, right? And we shouldn't even have to withhold things from them. For example, our kids know that um, we have a budget. If we work, when they want something, it will take time. It's not just, mommy, I want this toy, and they get it today. Teach kids boundaries, teach them consequences, teach them respect, not only in your household, but so that when they go out, when they are with other people, they know. And it's not about teaching. I feel like it's not only about teaching your kids so people can look at your children like, wow, their kids are amazing. No, it's about allowing them to experience, to be the best they can be, because I've seen that children, they they become better people, or they function better if there's boundaries, if they know what's going on, if they know that here we don't speak like that, here we live like this. They respect that. They tend to grow up in that notion that this is how we do it in our family. So it's important that we make the choices and live by them and lead by the examples that we want our children to be, so that we don't there's a saying that says, we have to teach them or train children now, teach them now, so that you don't have to repair them as adults. So we don't want our children to grow up and be like, but my parents never said I have to be nice to people, or my parents never said I have to do things this way. So so that they know this is how we treat people, this is how. And all, like I said again, it's all because of choices you make. So yeah, so moms, it's just, this is just an encouragement that it's a journey. You don't have to have it all figured out. I'm learning a lot. Getting to, and I'm unlearning also a lot. There's certain things that I look at my kids and like, we were not allowed to do this. But also understanding that the times that we live in now is not the same times we lived there. I mean, back then we didn't have internet, we didn't have cell phones growing up. But when our kids, they can have that. They have they grew up in it. Let me say, my kids don't have cell phones, but they grew up in a setup where there's this internet. So certain things they know. Whereas some of us got to know some of those things when we were older. So yeah, so what I'm saying is that enjoy the journey of motherhood, enjoy the transformation, enjoy the process of seeing the fruits in your children. And yeah, so if I would say, please like, please comment, please share, and please comment also if in how you do things, how you do things with your kids, and how you mothering basically, and how is motherhood transforming you. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and enjoy the rest of your day or your evening, whatever time you are in. Bye.